Okay, I'm going to talk about, y'all have been calling it the basket. I'm calling it the slingshot. And I know it forms a basket, but my theory is that all of these energies coming together is going to create momentum to push us forward. And the direction it's going to push us towards is the 4 degrees Sagittarius point that makes the sixth point on a six-pointed star. We're basically getting the other 5 points with this configuration. So I'm looking here at what is unseen to the eye and the potential impact that that unseen pattern might propel us forward. To show you how the energies work, and I like to look at the way that the patterns move uh, within the formations that they're making, the planetary alignments. So this video, I'm going to show you some of the unique things that have been going on, and I'm going to start out here with, you see here, Mercury, because since we've had Mercury still retrograde, and this is, oh, by the way, this is doing the video for July 19th at 9:48 a.m. when the basket configuration is supposed to be exact. And this is East Coast time, Eastern Daylight Time. Um, and I'm normally I would have the Aries axis here to show you where the planets are relative to the normal zodiac, but I'm not doing it this way this time because I think there's a significant feature here that we need to pay attention to, and I'll loop back to that at the end of the video. Um, right now, we've got Mercury undeciling um, Pluto. And anytime you see a gray line, that is where you're having to work hard, okay? That you're really having to work a situation. And with the Mercury retrograde we've been in, and it's been a tough one, um, everybody's pretty clear about what they're not happy about right now, okay? We've been drugged through the mud, every pun intended, and with it forming a direct connection to Pluto in Aquarius, remember, plutonium is about transformation and getting rid of what doesn't work for us. And with it being an Aquarius, it means it's like a new age dawning where all individuals are respected and revered. Okay, so if you've been paying a close attention to the news and social media, we've had any number of people that have been killed because they thought they were illegal immigrants when in fact they weren't by ICE. We've had all the hate stuff that's been going on back and forth in the WNBA relative to racism, perceived racism, and so this is where a lot of this rub is starting. Now I'm going to go ahead and start moving around the zodiac so you can see how the energy jumps. So right here, we don't have any aspects. We go here. Now we've got a triundecile that's being created between Jupiter and Eris. Now remember, Eris is the great disruptor. She's the one that likes to just, for lack of better words, throw a turd in a punch bowl and see who reacts at the party. Okay. And Jupiter is in Leo, which is that expansive, fiery, reactionary energy. And Eris is in Aries. So we've got a lot of fires, again, every pun intended, that are being created just about everywhere. And their undecile means that they are hard energies to corral. And so it's pumping. It is pumping. The stage is starting to get set for what's going to happen. So we're going to keep going. Now, wait a minute. We had a biundecile here between Saturn, and it's not showing the line, but you can see here it's starting to separate Saturn biundecile Ceres. Ceres is the cord cutter. Ceres is the motherly aspect that says enough is enough. We're cutting the cord. It's time for you to grow up. Okay. And by it being biundecile with Saturn, that's authority figures. So, this is our message. This is the hidden message that we've all been feeling, but didn't quite know how to alliterate it. Now, we're going to move on to undecile, which again is the gray here. And you've got Mercury undecile Mars, and you've got Vulcan undecile Ceres. So, Mercury's communication, Mars is action. So, it is time, it is time to act upon what we have been talking about. Okay? Mars, undecile, Mercury, it's time to act. And Vulcan is like the old blacksmith who hones the forged steel. So it's time to bring out the sword. And I don't mean kill anybody, okay? Don't misinterpret me. But it is time to really get clear about um, what we're willing to stand up for and cut out what we're not willing to stand up for, if that makes sense to you. We're going to go on to the quad noviles, which again is um, that hard-working energy, and we've got Neptune to the ascendant. Well, the ascendant's going to change, so that's not that big of a deal. Uh, and then we've got again uh, binovile is Venus with Ceres and Juno with um, Eris. Venus is what we value. Ceres, again, is cutting the cord. Are y'all sensing a theme here? There's a lot of Ceres action going on in the sky right now, and nobody's really been talking about this, but yet we feel these energies quite a bit. Everybody's been talking about the major planets, but what's important is to see the patterns and how we're moving around them. And then Juno, which is what we're married to, is binovile to Eris. So again, Eris is the disruptor and is intended to expose things that we shouldn't be married to. And what are we going to do about it? Are we going to get a divorce? Are we going to have honest conversation and make changes within that marriage? How are we going to attack this? Novile, again, now we're going to go to try the septiles. So this purple line, the septiles are like spiritual, uh, otherworldly like energies. Okay. And in this particular case, we have again plutonium, Pluto, uh, triseptile to the south node in Virgo. So plutonium remembers transformation. South node is what you are most familiar with, the energy you bring into this lifetime with. So this nitpickiness, and I'm going to use nitpickiness with Virgo, this nitpickiness that we have with anything and everything, it's time to kind of let go of some of that shit. Okay, people? Pluto is saying, listen, quit being so critical of everybody. Okay? It's time to move on. You're tearing the world apart by this pettiness that's going on in the world. And then you've got Mercury by septile Neptune. So this is where we're talking about um, communicating in a love your brother sort of way, a metaphysical sort of way, a uh, higher spirituality sort of way. Okay. Then we've got the Sun, septile Uranus. Now here we go. Okay. Uranus also rules Aquarius, which is where Pluto is. So this is like a double energy of this live and let live thing that we got going on here, accepting all people. All right. And the sun is saying it's time to shine light on the fact that this is the way we need to live, and there's a better way to live in life. We go up here to the deciles, which is deciles rules um, adjustments. And you can see here we've got the sun decile Ceres at 5 degrees. We've got Venus decile Jupiter. Um, and then we've got Vulcan decile the south node. So I'm just going to go one by one. The Sun, Decile, Ceres. It is time to, for the Sun represents uh, your life force energy. And again, Ceres is that cord cutting, that mommy energy. Okay. So it is time to make adjustments of the, how do I, the analogy I'm thinking of here is it's time for mom to let go and you to start growing up. Okay. Um, you can't depend upon mom for your entire life. And it's time to get adult about it. Venus, decile Jupiter, is the expansion of your values, okay, which is along the same thing. And then Vulcan, decile, the south node, is honing only the things in that Virgo esque mentality that work. And to me, when I think of Virgo, I think of discernment, okay? In a negative way, it's being nitpicky, but in a higher fashion, it's discernment. So, um, really think that, again, these energies are all leading one into the other. Now we start getting into the biquintiles, which is still the adjustment phases, okay? And you've got Venus, biquintile, Pluto. Again, value systems, adjusting and transforming to where only those things that work for us now. You've got up here Neptune, biquintile, the south node in Virgo. So Neptune is your higher idealism, uh, your metaphysical world, what we see on the other side of the veil, and letting go of that victim martyr mentality, okay, and rising to a higher level of spirituality where you value all that makes up our society. And then you've got, this is so awesome. Then you've got Vulcan, which is making a quintile directly to the opposite side of the axis with the north node in Pisces. So again, Pisces is ruled by Neptune. So you've got that metaphysical spiritual bent, and you've got the emotional nature of the blacksmith who is saying, hone your sword, hone how you manage your weapon that you go through life with. Okay. But let's take it to the higher level of Pisces. Let's take it to the level of metaphysics and living and let live in society. These these patterns, you just can't make this shit up, people. Okay, this is just like, it's here. It's here for us to see, and I know we're all feeling it. We're not done yet. Now, here's some of the rub. You've got, in this particular case, you have uh, Juno down here semi-squaring I can't say it, sesqui-squaring, which is like half of a square, uh, to Ceres, which is the mother energy. So it's like, are you going to be adult and be married? Or are you going to be a child and stay connected to your mother? What are you going to do here? Okay, where are you going to side in this thing? Are you going to continue to be entitled like you're a little kid, or are you going to grow up and act like an adult as if you're in an equal co-relationship? Okay. The next one is Saturn sesqui-squaring the south node. So Saturn is the structure that we live in, and the south node again is that discernment in Virgo. And then you've got Pluto sesqui. Okay. Let's just say it's semi-squaring, okay? Because I can't get it right. Pluto is semi-squaring Ceres, again, that mother energy, and transforming that Plutonian energy. This is kind of like when you got to have a heart to heart with your mother in law, okay? For lack of better words. So there's some rubs of things that we have to let go of in order to manifest this total energy that we've got. And you'll notice here, again, the repeat, you've got semi-square Saturn to the north node, which is how we've typically operated, uh, versus this higher vision of the Neptunian world of metaphysics and live and all let live. So, for those of you who don't know, Neptune rules the 12th house, and the 12th house is like the last phase of our development. Okay. It is when you take all your life experiences all bundled up into one and you make it all make sense. Okay. So a lot of times you don't experience this until you get close to death because you're at the end of the road, so to speak. Um, so it's just fascinating how this stuff is playing out. Now you've got here is the sextile, which is like part of a triangle, which is an ease and flow of energy. So to help us out here, we've got uh, Neptune and Uranus sextiling one another. Okay, this is this line up here. So you've got sudden change and slow change to the highest good of all working here on our behalf. Okay, and then you've got the sun coming in, sextiling the moon. So this is on a more personal basis. So while we deal with it personally day to day in our lives, we also have to take a look at the ease of flow of energy and helping it with our culture and how we live as the human race. I, again, I'm just so amazed by how incredible this pattern of energy is. Now we're going back to the squares, okay? And we've got Vulcan, the blacksmith squaring Eris, which is that those sudden disruptions. We've got Uranus squaring the north and the south nodes. All right. So it's a little bit of a wide orb, but it is nonetheless there. It's separating. Um, so this is taking a whole new look at um, the nodes are associated with the moon, so they're associated with your feelings. And that nodal axis between Virgo and Pisces in a negative aspect or an unevolved aspect is very much a victim martyr complex. Um, at its highest level of evolution, it's discernment and nirvana, okay, the highest state you can achieve. But I think in this particular case, there tends to be, especially on social media, there tends to be a lot of victim martyr bullshit that goes around. You need to realize that the longer that you stay in that zone, you're just perpetuating that same energy. In order to change your vibration and frequency, you need to rise above that to the higher level of that axis. And that axis is discernment and all of us living together as one society. So I'll die on that hill, people. I am so like, it's just amazing. We perpetuate our reality by what we speak into language. So this Uranian transit is really big time affecting that. And then we go into the trine and we've got the Plutonian energy of Aquarius, which is live and let live. We've got Uranian energy of Aquarius, which is live and let live, in Gemini, which is our thought patterns, trining uh, a sense of balance and how we feel with the moon moving into that third point to create that trine. Okay. Um, and then finally, the last opposition that we have is the moon making a direct opposition to Neptune. Uh, so it's like, how have we been feeling about things? Do we feel balanced? And can we reach that higher state? So I hope y'all found this interesting. I woke up this morning thinking about this, and it was like I couldn't wait to get to the computer fast enough to record this. Um, I think it's real important for everybody. We're so used to living in an immediate gratification, takes too long culture that you see the process about how everything works together. And the transits that we've been having up to this point have been leading it up to this point to where these energies are going to be available for us to use. It's up to us to change our mindset. It's up to us to speak into life form this change of mindset. And so I hope you found this beneficial. Now, if you've got any points, and I'm going to wrap this up because it's been 20 minutes. If you've got any of these points in your chart, which most of you do, because you can see this chart is splayed all over the place, then you're being impacted. So when astrologers come in and say this is a major societal change, they're telling the truth because it's going to affect every one of us, some more than others, but I promise you, this is affecting everybody. So with that, I say peace out. Hope you found this very entertaining. Well, not just entertaining, but enlightening. And remember, raise your frequency. Don't lower it because somebody else does. Because if you lower your frequency, then you're just feeding their fire. You need to snuff out that oxygen and raise to the higher level, and eventually everybody else will be forced to climb that level up with you. Okay, peace out. Thank you so much.